am I bending forward like that? Welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah, and we're doing something a little different today. I lost some footage of a shelf refresh. I took all the books off my bookshelf, I cleaned them, and I filmed it, you know, for something fun, and then I was uploading something else and deleted it. So it's like, okay, well, I would like to do something with my shelves in the future instead of that. So I sat on it for a while, and then Lala from Books with Lala uploaded her Buzzword prompts for next month, along with a cover challenge prompt. And I thought it would be fun to do a scavenger hunt on the shelves to see if I can find some things I already own that match these prompts, because next year is my year of reading everything that I own, especially pre-2025. So these are not going to include the 2 stacks that I have of self-destructing books. Those are over here on my chair. I need to find a home for them. But this won't include those. I'm going to specifically do the Buzzword. I'm going to try and find the cover. Don't know if I'll be able to find the covers, but I'm definitely looking for the Buzzwords, and I'm going to pull off a few possibilities and mention some that I have read if you are interested as well. And then I'm going to maybe try and write them down if I can find a pen or a pencil, so I have this to look at going into 2025. So that is the plan. Did I do my intro to this video? My name is Sarah. I like to talk about books in my basement. And I also forgot my mic. Look, I had a rough night last night. So let me get my mic, find a pencil, and we'll start this. It says paired. Hello. I don't know if you're paired or not. Let's try again. Hello? I don't think you're paired. Hello? Well, this sucks some donkey balls. Ooh, ooh, ooh. As soon as I said that, it pairs. That's what happens. Yeah, that's what happens. This sweatshirt. Let's try. Does that work? That's fine. I'm sure we'll do that. Okay, pencil. You would think, with as much Dungeons and Dragons as we play, we would have writing materials. Oh, it's sticky. Why is it sticky? That was way too hard. Finally getting into this. So, this keeps brushing my chin. Why is this thing so difficult to do? Should I just go play Nikki? Should I just go play my dress-up game? And just not do anything today? Maybe. We're gonna do this. Buzzwords. So the first prompt we have is January. So this is a title that contains truth and lies, and for the month it's a pattern. So let's see what I can find. Deceit. Ooh, that will get that one off my shelf. Heck yeah. I wish we had a pun prompt. I got some good pun titles. Stories? Would that count? Maybe. Stories could be lies, right? Listen, you would think, oh gosh, that I would have a lot more of these than I thought. You know, this is harder than I thought it would be. We're starting strong with confusion right out of the gate. That has a pattern. Has that got a pattern? Balls! It's not as patterny as I thought it was. Also, I'm trying not to say the F word, right? F-U-C-K. It's one of my favorite words. I think it's just a great word. But my daughter has picked up the F word. And, you know, people don't like it when a 4-year-old's playing on the McDonald's playground and starts saying the F word. So we're trying to cut it out of her vocabulary. Consequently, that means we have to cut it out of our vocabulary. Because, you know, we don't say that is a common refrain now. Let me look over here real quick. Oh, hell yeah. Patterns, patterns, patterns. Okay, we're back. So, this one was harder than I thought. Truth and lies. I don't have a lot with that in title. I got 3 things off these shelves. Now, keeping in mind, I am not actually checking the shelves up next to my computer. I have a small cart of TBR books up next to my computer, and I just, honest to goodness, don't feel like hauling you back and forth up the staircase. So I have 2 that meet the Buzzword. that I'm going to count. I have The Fiancé Farce by Alexandria Bellafleur. Yes. And this is a sapphic romance. I believe it's a fake dating trope with a cover illustrator and somebody else. A bookstore owner, maybe? And they have to go to a wedding or something, and they pretend to be fiancés. And I have The Key to Deceit. This is by Ashley Weaver. This is the second book in a series I started quite a while ago. I read the first book when it first came out, and I really loved it, but then I just kind of got distracted. It's very short. It's the Electra McDonnell series, and I actually think the series is completed. So if I like this, I may continue the series, or I might just get rid of it. We'll see. So those would be good picks for Truth and Lies. Now for patterns, I have quite a few choices. My nonfiction, The Golden Thread, How Fabric Changed History by Cassia St. Clair. This has patterns along the edges, and the jacket, also it's about fabric, which would include a lot of patterns and things. I have The Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, which I know is a series set in the world of another series, but my husband picked that out for me on a book date one day, so it's kept on the shelves and I will be reading it. I have The Witness for the Dead, like I showed a second ago, if I kept that in, by Catherine Addison. This is the Broken Binding edition. This is a bind-up of the two. I love The Goblin King. I think that was the name of the first book. And this is set in the same world. I really have thought about rereading The Goblin King. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I do want to read those. He's kind of a necromancer, the main character of that. He's kind of not. Of Deeds Most Valiant by Sarah K. Wilson. There is patterns up and around the sides. This is sort of what's that book called? Gideon the Ninth style story with different orders of paladins, and they are all drawn to this big temple, and they are needing to search it for something, and things don't go quite right. I got a chunk of the way through this on ebook and then just forgot to finish it. I got distracted with a bunch of other stuff. Life, happens. But I really do want to finish it because I loved her ideas that she had about the paladins. Everything in this series would count because there's patterns on all of these. So I will definitely be considering these for this. This is the Paladin's Grace, Strength. What is this actual series called? I couldn't tell you, but this series is about the god of something? I can't remember the name of the god, but a god dies and his order of the Saint of Steel. That's the series, Saint of Steel. His god dies and the paladins that are left, almost all of them go berserk because his whole thing is he's like the god of Templars and barbarian style people who go into rages when they fight. So he dies and his power is kind of unleashed into his Templars, and most of them die because they go berserk and they hurt themselves and others and they have to be put down. But a small contingent of them still survive, and the books follow them. And it's T. Kingfisher, so I know I'm going to love it because I love T. Kingfisher. So this is a good pattern series. And that's the indie versions. I have heard rumors that these have been picked up traditionally, though I haven't seen any covers or news, so I don't know if that's going to change next year. And I have two romanticises. I have The Shadows Between Us by Tracy Levenseller. I'm so sorry. There's a pattern on this door. This is the original printing on this one. It doesn't have the sprayed edges. It's out now. But there is a pattern there. Don't know much about that, but I know that the main character is trying to enter a marriage with a man just to kill him. It's supposed to be very fun. The Wren and the Holly Library. It's got a pattern there, and it also has a pattern on the sprayed edges. I actually think you could probably cheat and maybe cheat? I don't know. I might have to ask. But sprayed edges usually have a pattern, but this also has just a pattern here. And this is about a woman who breaks into a library and inadvertently, accidentally, kind of not accidentally, breaks a treaty with monsters or a monster and has to help him with something and ends up trapped there. So that's January. February is Water Words, and the cover is Skyline. Interesting. I can think of one, just as a recommendation, A Letter to the Luminous Deep. It is set in an aquatic world, and I loved it so much this year. Not for everybody, but look it up, and if you're interested, I really loved it. But let's find some stuff that I can read for next year. Oh, there's one. Balaam Springs. Could the void be considered? I mean, maybe. Water is terrifying after all. The deep, dark void down there. I don't even want to start talking about it. Whispers of the Deep. That's a good one. The deep. The abyss. These are like, this is a little too far. We're going to not stretch it that far. Ooh, water. I'm going to count pirate. Steeped? You steep tea. That's a water, right? Drank? You drink water, liquids. I'll count it. Oh, what the river knows. That's a good one. Sirens? That's like tangentially. Like, you're really stretching it if you don't. I'm not going to use that. Sea people. That's a great one. I'm not climbing up there to get it, but great recommendation. Loved that book. Really good. Do recommend. Skyline. There's a skyline on that one. Oh, Isla's Reach has got a skyline. I need to see if she has a second book out in the series. Does anybody know? This is a very, this one was easy for fantasy. This one's easy if you like fantasy. So let's see, skylines. So first up for water words, I've got Balam Spring. This is a mystery novel about, I think it's a teacher, maybe? Yes, a school teacher who comes to this island town and school is out, but then the island is struck by a sickness that is taking people out, and it is attracting insectoid type creatures from the woods, and he wants to set out to solve it. I have The Girl Who Drank the Moon. It's a water word. You drink liquids. By Kelly Barnhill. This is about a young girl who is given up to the Witch of the Woods when she is a baby. Now, normally when the witch is given babies, she will feed them and take them to a nearby village to be adopted. But this young girl accidentally drinks moonlight and becomes magical. So it is about her being raised by the witch. Close to Shore by Michael Capuzzo. This is about the shark attacks of 1916. Shore is a water word. It's a non-fiction book if you like sharks or you don't like sharks and like to be scared. A Magic Steeped in Poison. This isn't a stretch, but I'm going to take it. Steeped because you steep tea and other liquids. This is about a girl who accidentally poisons her family and then she has to go to like a magical competition to try and fix them. Daughter of the Pirate King. This is another Tracia. I'm going to look up how to say her name. 11th seller book. This is the like special edition one. Pirates hang out on the water, right? And Whispers of the Deep because that's a mermaid, but also deep, like deep water. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Skyline books. I'm just going to run through these really quickly. These are almost all indie books, so I love my indie fantasy. Beautiful Skyline on The Last Ranger by J.D.L. Russell. I do believe all three of these actually might have skylines on them. That's about a ranger. The Hand of the Sun King by J.T. Greathouse. Skyline down there. I think this is about a young man who is raised by two opposing parents. They're from different cultures and he is trying to reconcile that. This chonker of a book by Palming Peckering is Heliotrope. There's a skyline back there. It's very shiny. That is about, I have started that. That is about a man who lays tile. He was a former soldier and he ends up on the fighting for some reason. Again, wish I could tell you why. Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. The UK edition has a pretty skyline on it. That's a cozy sci-fi about a ship and its crew. The Hills of Heather and Bones by K.E. Andrews has a very pretty purple skyline. That is about a woman and her husband who go on the run after her necromantic abilities are discovered. It's both cozy and heartbreaking from everything I have been told. Isla's Reach has a bit of a skyline. It's kind of a reach. See what I did there? But I don't remember the summary of this, but it is another indie fantasy that I am quite excited about. I absolutely love that like old school fantasy cover. City of Bones has a city skyline. This is a reprint of some of her old fantasy stuff, and I think this one follows a warden like a detective. I need to read this in full honesty because I have an arc that I still need to turn in a review for. And finally, I have the second Rise and Fall book. This is Fairlane by Michael J. Sullivan. I love that. Skyline where the sky meets those rocks. It's so pretty. Okay. We're only on March. Oh my God. Thing. Oh my God. Thing. Like an item? Oh no. Thing like an item or the word thing? I don't know that I have the word thing. Oh, I am stressed. Oh my God. Kingdom of Liars would work for Truth and Lies. Take that off so I can... Why did I look right past that? Kingdom of Lies. This is January one. Put that with the January books. I might have to stretch this one. I'm gonna be real with y'all. My shelves are mostly fantasy and romance. And I don't know if anything I have is just thing. See, it's much easier if I do it this way. There is things. In March, I didn't tell you, the cover is books, which in fact one of those will count for. So yes, hey, you fine fellas got books on you. Book. What about this one? You got a book? No, you got some doggies though. Some very unfriendly looking doggies. Listen, I thought this one would be easy too. Look how wrong I am. Book. Oh, wait. Didn't you? No, you're not holding that book either. Why do I keep thinking these people are holding books? Am I projecting? I really don't know what to use for this prompt. Oh, you would think I would have so many books with books on them. I pulled this off to show you. It's a water book, What the River Knows, but it wasn't in the stack, so naturally I forgot it. So let's put that... Where's my water stack? Oh, dear. It's fine. We're just going to set it right here. Y'all, book. I found a book. My brain wants to... Oh, wait. We're going to count it. We're going to count it bigger than shit. Thing. Okay, so for thing, I didn't have any titles that I know of that say thing in them. So instead I picked a thing like an object I could hold in my hand, which goes along with... thing on the cover, so it works. So you can hold bones in your hand. I have Priest of Bones by Peter McLean. I don't remember the summary of this. I picked this up at the used bookstore because I was like, that sounds very cool, and I had seen some positive reviews. I have Tea Set and Match. This is the second book in the Tea Princess Chronicles about a princess who gives up her throne to become someone who can help people, and she stumbles upon becoming a tea master in this world that is like a highly regarded like advisatory position that anyone can talk to them. That's by Casey Blair. There's a tea set you hold in your hand. The Wickwire watch was on SPFBO last year. You hold watches in your hand, and that's about a thief. Stone and Sky by Z.S. Diamante. I really wanted to get to this series next year. This is a hopeful, cozy, queer, not cozy, but hopeful and queer fantasy, if I'm remembering right. And I really want to get to it because he just finished it. Oh, it looks so good and I'm so excited. And every time I see his reels, I get really excited. Finally, the bridge book. I have the book. I'm holding it in my hand. That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. Now, this is the first one that has books on the cover. And for the two other books that I found with books on the cover, Lore of the Wilds and Ascendance of a Bookworm. She's got a book on her lap. That's a light novel. This one is about fairies and magic, and this is about a young girl who is reborn in a new world and wants more than anything to read and learn things at a library. So she sets off to do that. I am just not even giving recommendations at this point because this is 40 minutes and I'm only through like what, 3-4 prompts now? Where's my list? April is animals. Ooh, I'm gonna eat these words, but I know I got books with animals on them. I got like a whole shelf of nonfiction. Animals, and for the cover, animals. Hey, look at you. Thanks for making that easy. So many animals. Are we counting dragons? I'm counting dragons. I'm gonna count a phoenix. Hell yeah, I'm gonna count a phoenix. This is a fantasy channel. Any of my Mercedes lackey will count because we've got heralds on the cover and their companions. Ooh, I know. I want a Donme. I want one more Donme. It also has an animal on the cover. Yes! That's also in the title. Win! One more. It's the story of my life. One more book, one more chapter, one more level. Don't know when to quit. Unicorn. We're counting it. Okay, all right. Here's what we got, friends. Here's what we've got. Animals. So, for April, which is animals, we're just doing them all at once. I've got a couple Don May. The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish both has a fish on the cover and in the title. This is about a man who is reborn as a fish, who is the pet of a tyrant. Things happen. One of my favorite series, Husky and his white cat Shizun. Clearly, Husky and cat. And there are animals on this cover, I know, but Volume 3... I don't know if Volume 3 has an animal on the cover. It might. This is Volume 4. That's another reborn story about a cruel tyrant who, like, kills everyone, and then he is reborn in his younger body, and he has to either relive his life correctly, like in a good way, or follow down the dark path again and end up back where he ended before. And the choices he makes. So for a cat on the cover, we've got Go Hex Yourself by Jessica Clare, who is also Ruby Dixon, if you are a fan of Ruby Dixon, which I am. It is about a girl who answers an ad to be the assistant to a magician, wizard, or something, and the actual apprentice to the said magician wizard doesn't like her, and there's a romance. The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. This would be a reread. This both has the silhouette of the unicorn and is in the title. I'm not going to explain a unicorn to you or that plot. The Raven Tower, animal on the cover. Kind of on the door knocker there. This is one of the few Anlekis. It's not part of a series technically that I haven't read, so I need to read. And that follows a tower that but kind of connects people to gods, their gods, because in that world, gods take physical forms, and their physical forms and their strength depend on the amount of worshippers they have. I don't know the full plot of it, but I have read stories set in that world, and I really loved them. City of Last Chances has birds on the cover. This is a Tchaikovsky book. This is that author that I want more than anything to love Tchaikovsky. I don't remember the plot on this one, unfortunately. The tagline says, City of Long Shadows, of Bad Decisions, of Last Chances. So we could try and find out. Here's some animals on the cover. Almost any Mercedes Lackey Valdemar book is going to work. I have a bunch. This is The Hills Have Spies. There is a companion here. They are technically horses. They're not horses. Okay, let's not have this conversation. But they are horse-shaped. And there is a wolf. I actually don't know if that's a wolf, or I think they're called Keely. There's another race of sentient animals in that world that look like wolves. Flamin' Sparrow has a phoenix on the cover. That one, by the way, is about heralds going out and being spies for some reason. Don't know why, don't care. It's Valdemar. I want to read it. And this is about a girl who wants to kill the fire god, demigod, because she thinks he killed or had something to do with her sister's death. Yeah. And so she has infiltrated his order and ends up bonded to him. It's a romance. We've got Restless Slumber by K.J. Sutton. There is a doggo right there. Right there. This is the second book in the Fortuna Sworn series about a girl who is trying to find her brother. She believes he's been taken by Fae. Actually, I don't know if she knows that, but she finds out he's been taken by Fae. She finds him, and it's her quest to free him, but she ends up dealing with a lot more than just that along the way. And finally, I'm going to pause here after this because I think it's almost time to wake up my daughter. When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This has got a dragon right there. And this is about a world in which when dragons die, they ascend into the heavens and they become stars and moons, planetoids of some sort, and what happens when they crash. And it is about a woman who is an assassin, I think, and she gets caught up with a dude who is hunting her, maybe, and I don't know anything else besides that. So that's April. We have a lot more months in the year. So what we're going to do, we'll do May down in a little while, or tomorrow, depending on when I have time and if I can get my daughter to cooperate. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, we're back. It's been a second for you. It's been like 4 days for me. I finished the first part of this, and then I got sick all weekend. Just messed up my tummy. It was real bad, so I didn't film. And I also have come to a decision. I have decided that since it took me so diddly dang long to film the first, 4 months of this, I'm going to do May and June for this latter portion of the video, and that's going to be part 1, and then I'm going to do a part 2 for the rest of next year. And I will film that probably next week, so it will be coming up on the channel shortly, because if I don't film it next week or the week after, I shan't film it at all because I will forget. But today, now we're going to do May and June. And I did also reset my shelves, which means we may get some repeat books, but that's okay because we're making little stacks, right? And I also get to include the stack of books that my husband bought me for not my birthday, but for our anniversary and Christmas. So those will hopefully get read quickly. Okay, so May's book cover challenge word is eyes, and the buzzword is 2 and 2. Man, English is a weird language. Okay, let's see what I can find. That's got a face on it. It's got eyes. I mean, it's not like the big eyes, right? I think that's what hey, I'm going to do this for eyes because her eyes are glowing. A long way to a small angry planet. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Wow, I thought I would have more too. Time Traveler's Guide to Medieval England. Yeah. 2 Cage of God. 2 Cage of God. Yeah, that counts. That counts. Well, hell. One last check over here. Oh, I can count. That's got some eyes on it. I like those eyes. Okay, all right. We have some things. Not many, surprisingly. I thought I have 4. So just for the buzzword itself. Now, there could be something upstairs, but I don't think there is. Sorry, double checking my middle grade section. Okay, yeah. So the only things that I found down here are The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and I'm pretty sure I've put that on a different list. The Time Traveler's Guide to Medieval England, which is one I have had for a very long time and I do need to read. I am excited about it, which is why it's survived, like, I don't know how many unhauls. Look at these elephants. That's ridiculous. I have 2 Cage of God by Elizabeth May. This is, I believe, a YA. Was this a Fairy Loot edition? Illumicrate. This was an Illumicrate edition. I found it used on Pango Books. It was very cheap. So I got it because it's very, very pretty. YA fantasy about some sisters who were raised to kill some kings or some gods or something. Give it a shot. And How to Say Babylon by Sophia Sinclair. This is a memoir about her growing up in a household where her father is Rastafarian. Now, for eyeballs, clearly anything with a person's face on it will count. So I just picked some stuff that I want to read that I've not put on other lists, and that you could see clear eyeballs. So Stephanie Burgess's Scales and Sensibility, I really want to read. This is a Regency Dragons book, as we have talked about numerous times. I love dragons, and I love Regency, so perfect. Delicious Monsters by Lascelles Samberry. The eyes are closed, but it's very creepy. There's one on both sides of the water, and they're different, so I'm going to count it. I have Tales from the Ant World by Edward O. Wilson, who I don't know anything about him, but I want to read more nonfiction about ants. I want to learn more about them. My daughter loves them, and we homeschool, and I'm trying to learn more about the little creatures and stuff she enjoys so we can use it in lessons. So ants are high on my list. The First Arc of Mother of Learning by Nobody 103, which was his pen name. This is the Wraithmark printing of the web novel. And I should be getting the 3rd and 4th books soon, so I would really, really love to read this. I love the inside art. I need to read this and start getting that series read. And finally, another Wraithmark book, Neon Ghosts. This is by BookTube's own Daniel B. Green. And her eyes are glowing, so totally counts. So that is May. And finally, my birthday month, June, Memory Words, okay, and Celestial, okay. Memory Words, let's do this one at a time. So Memory Words. Hey, a memory called Empire. Let's just make it easy and go with one that just straight up says memory. Hey, there's memory. I could have used a tide of black steel for a water word. Tide, it's a water word, right? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I don't like Mario. It's fine. It's not my favorite. Forget Me Not. Oh. Yep. I think maybe we were aiming for hello. Which fuck, it's coffee time. It's coffee time. Oh my god. What was that? What was that? Celestial. Oh, there's one. That'll count. I count it. Bigger than shit. I'll let my country come out and then you'll really won't want to watch me. Our Moon, which works because Lala recommended that. I like this for June. So for our last cover challenge, we have Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. There is a moon here. That's good. I want to get more Dawn May read this year. I have the darkness outside of us. There are stars there. We have Our Moon, which was a recommendation from Lala on one of her mini videos. So moon on that. The Girl in the Stars by Mark Lawrence. First in one of his series that he has going. Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan, which I have both of those and I really want to read them. They're just buried, so I forget. The Red Scholar's Wake by Aliette de Bodard, who is a favorite author of mine. And Master of the Void by Wind Raven, which was on SPFBO last year. So that would be good to get read. Okay. That's it. January through June for the book cover and Buzzword readathon challenges, scavenger hunt style. Like I said, I will film July through December here soon, and that will go up in another video. I, honest to goodness, missed so many things. I was putting all of my books back and I was like, oh my god, this would count, this would count, this would count, this would count. So, of course, this is not an absolute list, even for my own shelves. If you have any good recommendations, let me know. I also know for a fact, like, for example, Master of the Void, the Celestial stuff. For the Celestial prompt, I'm getting Heavenly Bodies next year in January. So that would be a great one to read as well. So like, that is it for this scavenger hunt style video. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Please, like I said, let me know what you know. Any good books that fit the prompts. I read mainly fantasy, nonfiction, romance, and science fiction. So anything in those genres will be great. Thanks again, y'all. I will talk to you again soon. And like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye.